there. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And today the movie I'm reviewing is called Mob Land. This violent movie about life in a small town releases on August 4th, 2023. The movie is rated R and is an hour and 51 minutes long. My movie review mom grade is a B+. But let me explain. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that I think you might also really like if you haven't seen them before. So in a nutshell, the story is about a sheriff who tries to keep the peace when a desperate family man violently robs an illegal pill mill with his brother-in-law, alerting an enforcer from the New Orleans mafia. The film was directed and written by Nicholas Maggio, with the story written by Rob Healy. So there were a lot of things I really liked about this movie. First of all, the presence of John Travolta alone in this movie is what will draw most people's attention to it. As always, he does a fantastic job. He's not the main character, but he's in it enough where you feel like, okay, he earned his money. You know, some of these older actors who have had huge hits in the past are now kind of taking side roles in movies that are not that great. And I was really worried about that when I watched this movie, but he's in it enough that I was like, okay, good job. The other standout performances are by Stephen Dorff, Kevin Dillon, and Shiloh Fernandez. I just really wanted to see Shiloh Fernandez get in a shower, not to see him in the shower, but shampoo his hair because he's so gringy and dirty and sweaty during the entire movie. He did a great job, really great job. There sure are a lot of good old boy characters, and they're all fleshed out really well. You definitely get a feel for this small town and just that whole vibe of what life is like living there. The musical soundtrack I thought was really great. The young actress who plays Shiloh Fernandez's daughter is adorable. I couldn't find her name written anywhere, but because I wanted to give her name a shout out. But if you know it, comment down below. Fun facts, Nicholas Maggio actually wrote the very first draft in only 4 days. They filmed the movie in only 11 days, which is always impressive to me. The original title for this movie was American Metal. So which title do you think is better? I like them both, actually. I love movies that have double entendres, double meaning for it. I think American Metal might fit better with what happens in the movie than Mobland. Just my opinion. Several people talk about the meaning of life and their purpose in the world while they're involved in this gangster mob life, which I thought was really interesting. And it was fun to hear their conversations and be able to see their humanity amidst all of the cruelty that they dished out, during their activities. I loved the shocking, ambiguous ending. Let me know what you think of that too. Now, with that praise, there were only just a couple of things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better. For example, the title, Mobland, instantly made me assume that the movie would be about, the classic New York City mobs. I rarely watch the movie trailers before a movie. Sometimes I don't even read the description. If I get a press screener from a studio, for example, and I see a celebrity like John Travolta, I'm like, yep, I'll watch it. I'll take it. And I probably should be more discriminating because I've watched a lot of really bad, dumb movies. But such is the case with this one. I didn't really know. And I see a cowboy hat on John Travolta and I was intrigued. And so that's why I'm saying it's definitely not New York mobsters. If that's what you're expecting, you'll be disappointed. So it's a different type of Mobland. And then the other thing is just, it's very violent. There's lots of blood and gore and people's heads getting shot off and, brutal deaths and stuff like that, which brings me to the tips for parents. I think this is not an appropriate movie for kids. Plus, I think kids will be really bored during the majority of the movie, which is a lot of just adults talking. There is some profanity, including many, many F-bombs. There's bloody violence with a variety of weapons, as well as hand-to-hand combat where people are, fisticuffs. A man is addicted to pills, and there's lots of talk of, what is it, maxicodone? I don't even know the name of the drug, but prescription drugs that doctors actually prescribe, and then people get addicted. And then there's this whole black market to sell these illegally. Anyway, we see a robbery. Someone gets a terminal illness. We see a lot of people get shot and killed brutally, as I mentioned. Now, with all of that, there were some themes that were illustrated very well, such as taking care of family, protecting your community, prescription drugs, forgiveness, second chances. I like all of those. So whenever I watch a movie, I always write down notes, and I write down interesting lines or funny lines simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste and feel for the movie. And so I have some that I'll share with you right now, but you can see all of them at moviereviewmom.com. All right, so here's one of the lines that I thought was kind of funny. So we've got a character named Clayton Minor, who's played beautifully by Stephen Dorff. And then Shelby Connors, who's the protagonist of the movie, really. And he's played by Shiloh Fernandez. And so Stephen Dorff's character says, "Were you going to kill me?" And Shiloh Fernandez says, "I was thinking about it." There's sort of this love, hate, playful banter almost between the good guys and the bad guys that I thought was really interesting. This is a line that he says to his daughter. He says, sometimes it's not about how much you can lift, right? But about how much weight you can carry that makes you strong. Now, he's talking about physically lifting something. And yet in the movie, we also see that weight as more of an ethereal weight, like a metaphor for the weight that you carry on your shoulders, kind of a thing. And then another line Shiloh says is, "My mama taught me it's not how hard you swing, but how sharp the axe." And there are several visual metaphors of axes actually in the movie, and then real axes too. And then another final line that he says is, "We all play the hand we're dealt." And there's a real solid look, a profound look at those hands that were dealt, where you grew up, how you grew up, the people that are in your community, who you surround yourself with, and all of that, which I thought was really interesting. All right, so let me give you some recommendations of some other movies I instantly thought of while I was watching this one. The first one also has both John Travolta and Stephen Dorff, and it's called Paradise City. And it's kind of that same small town rough and tumble. And I think if you like this one, you'll like that one, and vice versa, I think. Another movie with John Travolta, filmed in 2016, is called I Am Wrath. And one thing that's amazing about John Travolta is he can equally do well drama and comedy, right? And even musical. He can sing, he can dance, he can do it all. And then the last movie I thought of is called Seized from 2020. And again, it's got similar things in it, which is why I thought about it. I don't want to give you any spoilers. But anyway, check those out. Comment down below and click in the description below, and it'll give you the links to those films, as well as some coupons for some streaming platforms where you can get a discount and watch them for free. All right, have a fantastic day. I hope that you enjoy this movie as much as I did, and I will catch you in the next movie review. Bye for now.